I must say here, Lewis, like, Ryan Gravenberch, some player. Oh my God. Like, he ran that game for a lot of the time. That bit of skill over on the far side, I mean, those fellas have got kids and he's just absolutely embarrassed them in front of their families. Like, I thought from minute one, we've been saying it all year, but it was the Ryan Gravenberch show again.
Yeah, no, he's class. And he's the fact that he was in a bit of wilderness last season, didn't know where his best position was. Is he going to play? There were rumours of him going in summer because there was no right spot for him. And he's done this, and he's just become, arguably, I know there's Salah and Van Dijk and Alisson, etc., but he's arguably at this moment in time the most important player in that team, or in the top two, because he's just, what he delivers in the middle of the pitch, he's so good at taking the ball, shimmying and going on the attack. He's so good at tracking back and defending. He knows when to distribute it, doesn't hold on to it for too long. And I'd say that Bournemouth game wasn't even his best game. It wasn't even one of his better games, I'd argue, but he still stole the show. He still was the most important player in the middle of the pitch. And it is incredible that Bayern Munich couldn't see what player he had. It's incredible that he wasn't like this last season. He's just come out of nowhere. It's
interesting, John, because I've got some stats. Like, he very rarely gives the ball away. I think he had the 44 passes. You only give it away 3 times off those. But defensively as well, it says ground. He had like 13 duels in the ground, won 9 of them. So he did the proper defensive midfielder stuff as well. He gets 7 tackles, 4 interceptions, 3 clearances, as well as the fact that he can keep the ball and he give it to me, and I'm the definition of press resistant. He's like Wijnaldum.
One of the things I liked about Fabinho was that he had a touch of class about him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When he came, he wasn't just a stopper.
Yeah.
He was a guy who had a little bit of class. He could pass a football. He could beat a man. Gravenberch is better. He's got more skill, more ability, more pace. In every department, he's actually got better than Fabinho, which is saying something.
And it's interesting because, like I say, you would say what you're going to get out of Ryan Gravenberch. You would think when you're playing there, Lewis, he's going to be good on the ball.
Yeah.
Of course, you'd expect that. Now, I don't think anyone expects him to be this good because I was saying, part of the conversation of the day, it was like, it's like someone's took the best bits of Fabinho and Wijnaldum and kind of put them together, because Gini Wijnaldum gave him the ball anyway, and he was a bit different. He wouldn't do it with probably as much guile as Gravenberch, but he'd just stick his arse out and go, you're not getting the ball off me. Yeah. Gravenberch does the little spins and the little shimmies, a little Thiago even. Yeah. I mean, I'm building some player here and I'm combining all these.
You had all that and then you add pace to that.
And I'm about to say, he's the modern day version, because it's the athleticism as well to get about, and once I beat you, I'm going and I'm sprinting down the middle of the pitch. Yeah. It just felt like, he was in complete control. He was, again, I've got his heat map here for those who might be watching. For those who are listening, I'll describe it. He's very much in the right back area a lot of the times, helping out his defence. But when he gets it, it's what he does with it. He doesn't just give it back to Van Dijk or give it to Canate and go, I'm done. It's like, no, where can I go next? How can I pass this forward? Keep passing.
And he'll run if there's space there. He'll run into it.
I think that's his strongest thing, is as soon as he receives the ball, he just turns and he's going forward. His first instinct is, right, I've got all these world-class players in front of me. What can they do? Who can I give the ball to? And he's not someone who he passes it recklessly. Like you said, his passing is superb. It will run into the space if it's there, which I think a lot of players maybe didn't do. I think Fabinho did it a couple times, but that wasn't a strong suit. It was more just keep it contained, give it to Van Dijk, they'll do something with it. He's so positive with his approach, and it's remarkable that he's come off the back of 3 seasons where he's either been injured or he's not played a lot of minutes or he's not been in a position that suits him, and he's just this perfect
he's learning a new
position.
That's the incredible thing about it.
Yeah,
I mean, I read at the weekend that after Zubimendi fell through, Richard Hughes said, there isn't anyone who can do the job we want. Why don't you try Gravenberch? And Slot was a little bit sceptical of the idea. I don't know how true that is. But you're taking someone who you don't think can do the job and saying, try it. And the guy is just sensational.
Yeah. It's hard. Again, he's 22, he turns 23 before the end of the season, John. And listen, he's always been a good player. There's a reason why Ajax, Bayern Munich, and then ultimately Liverpool want you. You know what I mean?
Everyone knew he was talented.
You've clearly got something going for you. But yeah, this, like I say, of surprises of the season, I think one of them is how good Liverpool have been as a whole. But if you're looking at individual players, I think his form across the whole Premier League really is one of these stories of the season, probably underspoken about. Everyone's talking a little bit about Salah, what's happened at Arsenal. Cole Palmer has had another breakout where he's scoring loads of goals, but the idea of Liverpool getting Ryan Gravenberch this good and getting himself this good it's a massive plus to him and the coaching staff and everybody. If he can do that in Premier League games, it's ridiculous.
He has to be in the conversation for Player of the Year, doesn't he? Footballer of the Year.
Yeah.
You know, I think Salah will probably win it given the goals and the assists. But if he's not talked about as well, then
there's a young player.
Yeah, he can qualify.
There's a young player.
Yeah. I think that game he was just on literally head and shoulders because he's massive as well. But it just felt like that's a tough game again. You go back to Liverpool should always beat Bournemouth, and in the past you'd look at Bournemouth as like a bit of a yo-yo team. They're a relegation battle. Yeah, go and beat them, and if you lose there, you're surprised. This is a different kettle of fish, and for them to run that game at you, it was very impressive.
Full of energy. A Bournemouth team that had everything to play for, nothing to lose that match, and he stole the show. Pure energy in midfield, and look, he's. Like you said, he could easily be Player of the Year. Obviously, Salah's there doing what he's doing, so I think that's kind of...
in the past, we used to... I don't remember, 13, 14... You were pretty young, probably, but we used to do... how old?
16.
No, that's fair. That's fair enough. You might remember a little bit. We used to do the non-Luis Suarez Man of the Match, we used to say. Or like, maybe we need the non-Mo Salah Player of the Season award. And there's a lot of other lads in the mix, that including, again, the captain and stuff. But he would very much be in this mix of how good's he? Like, if there's a Premier League team of the year and he's going to be in it.
I said last year after he played one game for us that he had lovely skills, but then it was just like a puff of smoke because there was no end. It didn't mean anything. He was beautiful on the ball and he turned and he looked lovely, but nothing came of it. It was just like
he had like that West Ham game, and then that was about it.
Now
everything he does impacts on the game. It's just
you can tell how good he is when he loses because or how good his team think he is because he just give him the ball.
Yeah,
and they'll give him. Trent will give him it if he's got two men round him. He's over in that right back position. Alexander-Arnold will win it back, and your two options are go long to Salah, which isn't always on. What am I going to do? And he'll pop it 5 yards inside the Gravenberch and go deal with that, pal.
Yeah.
And then Ryan Gravenberch, he did it a couple of times here as well. I was like, sound. I'll have that. Yeah. That spin he does on that right back position. It's outrageous, that.
He's amazing. And when you're in a situation where obviously we didn't get Zubimendi in the summer and all the fans are saying, well, we need the number 6, this won't do. You have Endo, who, God love him, but Slot said before, like, he might not be my type of player. There was all those rumours about him leaving. When you're that good of a player in that position that now the number 6 isn't even an area that people are going, we have to sign someone in immediately, that's a testament to how good you are. He's taken the responsibility in the middle of the pitch, and he's 22 years old. He was in and out of the team for a season, and he's come in and he's now the most locked in position in that midfield, the most locked in player next to Alexis McAllister. He's just been out of this world and is going forward, coming back, picking up the ball, distributes everything about him. You can't look at him and think there's a weakness there because he's just all round.
You're actually now talking about buying a number 6 who can understudy Gravenberch rather than be on.
Well, how can you buy anyone better than that?
Yeah,
like who's at the moment in time? You look at number 6s across 22, the world.
As you say.
Even Zubimendi's been poor this season compared to him. Like, he's just blown everyone out of the water.
Rodri's injured, so he's still the gold standard, and rightly so. He should be. He's literally the best player in the world last year.
He's probably not going to be at his best now for another year, possibly 18 months.
Yeah, you're going to find it hard to buy someone as good as this lad. Now, again, if Endo, whatever happens, Endo, you might have to find somebody else. Maybe it's James McConnell. That's what the way Arne Slot speaks about him is that he might be the next one. But
he is a talent.
Arne Slot loves him, but yeah, I just think for again, I didn't want to go unnoticed in this game. He was very important to the win. Yeah. He really was.
And if Bajcetic actually fulfilled the potential that we showed a couple of years ago, well, he could easily be.
Yeah, it's interesting. You are right. You're not going to buy no better than this guy now. No. He is the best.
He's the gold standard.
Is he the best midfielder in the league this season?
I mean, if you class Cole Palmer, but obviously the different type of midfielders.
I love Cole Palmer. I think he's a joy to watch. He's fantastic. Yeah. But
in terms of importance, like,
and also just like, I mean, Cole Palmer, I once maybe a little bit flat track bully, which is fine, by the way. Like, go and be a flat track bully, just go and win the point you're meant to win. But Gravenberch has been the best player in big games, or one of the best players in big games. I'd be quite confident.
I'm struggling to think of anyone. The only ones I can think of are like Rice, and even then he's been good. He's been good, but
he's a great player.
I think there's an argument that in Europe as well he's been as good, if not better, than everyone else.
Yeah, let us know in the comment section. Can you think of a better midfielder in Europe or the league this season than Ryan Gravenberch? He'll be hard pressed if it was up to me.